Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Isle TV. Before we get to meet some of our guests today and such, there's a lot of things that are going on the island, some of which are good, some of which need attention. First of all, I apologize for all the construction work that's going on the island at this point. Let me explain. There's two things going on the road work. Number one, the hot wire company, who is already online, they are putting in the new systems underground. So you're going to see a lot of trucks, a lot of digging for the hot wire people. They're putting in the new trunk lines that come in and eventually will wind up going into the buildings themselves. But the second crew that's probably making the biggest mess on the island is FP&L. And what's happening is, because of the fact that Williams Island is going to be celebrating its 40th anniversary, that means it's 40 years old. A lot of the wiring, a lot of the piping, a lot of the underground needs updating. So what you're seeing there, unfortunately, for the moment and for the next few months, simultaneously with hot wire, is FP&L trucks. I can't tell you which truck is which, but that's why we have so much going on at the same time. Third thing, obviously, we have the construction going on with the main clubhouse. That is moving along beautifully. It's pretty close to being on schedule. We've run into a few minor hiccups, which really shouldn't affect things drastically at all. We're still within our budget. The building, the island, is going to be absolutely beautiful. And shortly, we're going to meet with our new chef, who will go into a little bit about what we do here and what we intend to have in the dining room, what kind of meals we're going to have, what kind of concept we'll have, and those kind of things. I had quite a few letters regarding an interview that was done by Channel 10 with one of our residents from Med Village. And the essence of it was that there was a large assessment that was necessary within Med Village to do roofs, construction, whatever, updating. And it's affecting some of the people, whether they can afford it, they can't afford it, they can sell, they can't sell their units. I think it's important you understand that this is not a choice that was made by Williams Island, and it wasn't something made by individual buildings. This was something that was mandated by the state of Florida. Every single building in the state of Florida that's over a certain number of years has to update the construction. They have to make sure structurally they're sound. And of course, what happened in Champlain Gardens down in Surfside was a major factor in why this happened. So as much as we don't want to do this, it's also for the good and the safety of our residents. So every building in Williams Island has had some kind of renovation, some kind of upgrade, some kind of structural work done, some more than others depending on the age of the building. But just so you understand, the assessment that was in Med Village, it was high, but it was high because there's few people there and a lot of units and a lot of work that had to be updated. But it's not something that's intentional, unfortunately. And fortunately, if I was a resident, if you owned a home and you got a report that said that your home structurally needs work, you'd have to do it. Well, that's what's going on with every single building. And it's not only Williams Island, it's throughout the state of Florida. So we're hoping the legislature does reduce some of the restrictions, because some of them are a little erroneous on us and on all of the buildings, but it's something that we have no choice about. So I know the TV interview was a little upsetting, and we feel bad for the doctor who had the interview. There's a number of people that might be in that same position, but please understand, we're working with people. We're giving people chances to pay it out over a long period of time to ease the burden, and we're doing everything possible to mitigate the damages and the angst that this project is taking place on. The other thing is safety. We have put in a number of speed bumps to try to slow down some of the traffic in some of the areas on the island. Unfortunately, some people just go flying through them. They hit the speed bumps, they go over them, they go through stop signs. The next step, if this doesn't stop people and it doesn't help, we will be putting in speed machines throughout the island, sanctioned by the city of Aventura, and there will be tickets and there will be Aventura police on site to try to help us, because if you stand at any of these stop sign intersections in any given day, I would say 50% of the cars go straight through. They don't even slow down over these bumps. And unfortunately, you have a lot of children on the island now. We have a younger generation, and it's critical that we have safe measures in place for this. The other thing that we have going on right now is there is so much happening in terms of events, and as you are going to hear shortly, please read what we send out. Please look at what's going on. It's very important. I'll give you a perfect example. We've had a number of problems with the long line in the mornings as to when people go through the resident gate, it takes so long to go through the island gate. So what we did is we listened to the problem and we put in a special card reader. You can download an app, you can download the card and give it to your guests, give it to your workmen, whether it's for a day, a week, or however long they're going to be there with you. They can just take their phone, show it, hold it up to the card reader, and go through in the resident lane. But unfortunately, most people aren't doing this, and in some cases, they say they didn't even know about it. So if anybody wants to know more about this, they can call Arlene in the office. She'll explain how it works. It is no different than any other scan code that you have on any of these things you go to a store for. You put the code on your phone, you go through the gate, there's a little machine there that you hold your phone up to, and it lets you in and opens the gate, and you don't have to go through the guest lane. So those are just a few of the updates that we have. Normally Jeff Klein would be here. He's on vacation with his family. We hope he's enjoying himself while we're here. It's the first time he's had his trip with his family and all his girls in a long time, and we only wish him the best. We want to wish you a happy 4th of July weekend and a wonderful summer. What will be coming up in the next few weeks, and it's important that you watch the TV show because we're going to be interviewing some of the people running for various offices that affect us. Number one, we're going to be interviewing the person running for school board that's representative of our district. We're going to be interviewing some of the commissioners that are running for Aventura City Commission. We're going to be interviewing certain judges that are running and are up for a re-election or election. And I think it's important, this is not partisan, this is not political. We are offering both sides or all sides the interview possibility if they'd like to. We are not favoring and we're not recommending, but I think it's important to give you an opportunity to make a decision based on informed information after hearing these people. So in our July taping, which is later in this month, obviously, you will get to meet quite a few of these people, and hopefully it'll help you with your decision making. So we look forward to the future, and now we have so many wonderful people to meet with today, one of which you're going to meet is Natalia, who does all the event planning for us. We wanted to get Arlene on, but she's a little camera shy, so we may get her on later on. And we have Gabe, who is our new chef, and he's going to tell you all about some of the new events and things that are happening and what his role is going to be in all this. So we look forward to it, and we'll be back in a minute. Thank you. Good morning, and welcome to Williams Island TV. There's actually quite a bit that we're going to be talking about today. But first and foremost, there's so many activities that we have planned for the coming year. And Cindy Saccharin, chairman of the C&E committee, couldn't be with us today, but that's okay because we have the better half, the person that actually makes all of these things happen for us when Cindy's busy. So Natalia is our Girl Friday, our cruise director, and makes all the events that we do on the island work beautifully for us, coordinates them with the kitchen, coordinates with staff. So because we have so many things going on, I thought it best if you tell us what's happening in the coming year.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. We've had recent success with the farmers market that members have been asking for, and we saw that there was a great turnout. I didn't see you there.
I was there.
Yeah.
No, I came early.
Oh, that's what it was.
And I didn't realize how many kids we have.
That was my favorite part.
Oh my.
It felt like a theme park, I was telling you.
Yeah,
We have all the strollers lined up, all the families enjoying. The sidewalk was so popular. Everyone was checking out all the different stands. We had food to jewelry, different clothing items, a plant vendor as well. So it was great, and they were so happy with it. They want to come back. So we're planning more in the near future and the next upcoming months.
But it truly was amazing, the children we had. This island has changed demographically, drastically to the positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe, we must have had a few hundred children there that day.
Yeah. I don't know how many. I couldn't count them. They were all over, but definitely see that it's a growing population here, and we're happy for it.
So we are going to do it again.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay.
We also just had last night the Copa Watch Party here at the Island Grill Restaurant. So we're starting to do different features like the soccer right now, but I know we have Wimbledon coming up. We have the Olympics. So we're trying to highlight different tournaments and finding out how we can enhance the experience whether it's up here at the restaurant and featuring that on the TV with some activations, maybe outside on the tennis terrace with a Wimbledon, let's say. We're trying to tap into that market as well. We see that there's an interest.
Last night I happened to be here when this was going on. And obviously the soccer takes place over the next, week, 10 days, whatever it
Until
is.
July 14th.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So this is going to be something we're doing every night?
So we're going to be featuring the games on the TV, but we also have some drink specials because we're partnering with Centenario Tequila and a few different light bite menu items. But then we have 3 different highlight nights for watch parties. Last night, July 2nd, which is Brazil against Colombia, and then the finals on July 14th. We don't know who that is yet.
So we're going to publicize that, but it's those 3 days. So if I come tonight, it's just whatever it was.
Whatever the games are tonight with those specials, we'll still be featuring something in that sense,
Okay,
but the bigger watch parties are the ones that we're trying to at least activate.
Great.
Yeah. Plenty of things coming up. Let's see what else we have down the line. We have a mini terrarium workshop coming up. We'll do that in Meta Village. So they're going to bring different canvases and you can create the different elements in there with the plants and everything as well. We have some kid classes with Tatiana coming up, I believe on the 21st. The 21st is my favorite. We have Scoops of Fun. So it's National Ice Cream Day, and what better way to celebrate with free ice cream here on the tennis terrace. So that's something fun that's coming up. There's so many. Let me see. Just going fast forward, we highlighting the big events that we always have here. So in October, we do have Boo Bash. It's on October 30th. The following day on Halloween, we're going to have the adults Halloween party because we both like to have fun here. In November, we do have the big event. You know which one it is? The big one we always await in the
Oh, yeah, the homecoming.
The season opener. So it's November 20th that we're working on. So save the date. We'll be sending out a save the date as well. So that way you have that on your calendar. And then right after that, we go into Thanksgiving, the Turkey Trot, and Family Fun Day. So a lot of big events as well coming up.
It's wonderful. And what are we doing? I know it's a long way away, but are we doing anything for July 4th?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So here at the Island Grill, we're going to have the barbecue lunch. Instead of outside, it'll just be indoors with the option to sit on the terrace. Outside on the terrace for the kids, we will have some arts and crafts, some tables, and just different activations, DJ like we always have, make things fun. Yeah.
So I know this is a long way off, but we plan on opening up the new clubhouse dining room, let's say the first quarter of next year, December, January, whenever it is. Are there any ideas as to what the format's going to be over there yet? In terms of entertainment?
Well, we're still getting all the details together, not entertainment, but the big one to kick it off, of course, is the ribbon cutting.
Right.
And a big celebration to showcase what we've been working on for so long, what we're all really excited for.
So this sounds like there's nothing happening on the island then?
No, not at all.
It's very quiet, peaceful.
It keeps me busy, that's for sure.
Are we still going to have the lecture series and the jazz nights and all the things that we did have last past year?
Yeah, absolutely. We still actually have ongoing lectures right now with a combination of owner presentations. We have one coming up on July 8th with Betty Sittner here in the spa, which is our temporary location until we have the club. We did have the foreign film series that just recently ended, but that'll be an ongoing thing because it's very popular here. We have a collaboration with FIU. It's called the OSHA Institute of Lifelong Learning. So with a professor there that's spearheading that, and many talented presenters will be coming here starting back up in the later fall in the spa until we go over to the
Now,
club.
is that in affiliation with Steve Eichler?
Yes, absolutely.
That's the part of it.
Yeah,
So to elaborate on this, it's a wonderful program because not only will this be open to the residents, but we're also having, well, I guess you would call it Williams Island University.
Yes.
And what we've done is Steve Eichler, one of our residents, is putting together a program for our employees, for people that are working here that want to expand their knowledge in certain career moves.
Yeah.
And we're bringing in lecture series. But more importantly, we're going to have a lot of people that live on the island that have these expertise and have the curriculum of those careers, whether it be accounting, legal, business. And that will be for our staff as well as anybody on the island that'd like to take some of these classes.
Yes.
So, and that's all going to be free.
Looking forward to those classes.
Yes,
Definitely
yes.
want to learn more. And we also have with Steve Eichler, he brought to us Curiosity University. So right now, Williams Island is offering Curiosity University where any member can sign up completely free. Williams Island is covering that, and you can log in and see over 500 different presentations with accredited professors from Yale, Harvard, Berkeley, you name it. And you have this at your fingertips on your phone, on your laptop, whatever it is. So he's been a great help getting the learning aspect for us.
And the other thing I want to just bring up, if anybody lives on the island that feels they have something to offer, something to give back, something that they'd like to teach or lecture on, please send your name and what the subjects are to either you, Natalia, or to Arlene, because we will start promoting that and interviewing on the TV program. Give it to Steve, and he'll set up the actual lecture series with you.
Yeah,
but it's important because we have so many people here with talent.
Yes.
It's amazing. So,
But you know what I commonly hear? I didn't know about the events, and that's one thing we work really hard for. So we do send out every Monday. It's called the Monday email, where you're going to get everything going on from tennis to spa to the POA, culture and entertainment. But we have more than just that. We have flyers. We send those out to the building, so you can always check with the concierge. We've got our famous What's Up groups. Are you a part of them? We've got
no, I'm not.
No, we've got.
They didn't
like
get. In fact,
4
I
or
wasn't
5.
even invited.
Oh, you're always invited.
Oh.
I'm going to get you on there.
Okay.
So you can just sign up for the things that you're interested in, whether it's family related, whether you want food and beverage, whether you want the culture and entertainment. But that's something at your fingertips. You can see everything that's happening. So that we're going to share with everyone so we can try to get more people in the know.
That's great. So that's a little about what's going on.
A little bit only.
Is there anything else we want to know about?
I think I've covered it. We'll put more information and just share that with everyone. Just make sure you're
Great.
signed up with the different portals we have.
And make sure you read what we send out.
Yes.
Because Natalia's correct. People say we didn't know, and yet we do the TV, we do the newsletter, we do the texting, we do the flyers. You have to look at all this stuff because it's amazing the programming that Natalia's put together on the island. And we also want to thank the Scene Committee because they, all kidding aside, they do an amazing job for us on the island.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway, thank you for being with us. It's
Thank you.
always, and before we get off, just a little question.
Tell me.
How's the baby?
She's about to turn 1.
Oh my
Can't
God.
even believe it.
Wow.
How did that happen? Yeah, she's
Where did the
turning
year
1.
go?
I don't know. July 7th, though, we're going to be celebrating.
July 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Thank you so
Only the
much.
best and only the other. You got to bring her on. Maybe we'll bring her on the show next week.
Ooh, all right.
That would be great. Anyway, we'll be right back. Over the years, one of the biggest items, one of the biggest issues that we always have on the island, and actually forever, is food and beverage. And it's the one area that the majority of the island attends. They go to. Some go to the spa, some play tennis, but everyone uses food and beverage. So unfortunately, somebody's told me something very interesting. If you give people what they want 364 days a year, you can charge them what you want this 365th day. I'm not quite sure that would work here, but bottom line is I think we've had an amazing food and beverage department over the last few years. There's been tremendous upgrades to the staffing, to the quality control. But there's always room to take it to the next level. And obviously we have a new building going up at the clubhouse, and the dining room is going to be second to none when we're completed. It'll be more of an upscale. We're going to hear a little bit more what it is. But primarily, I wanted you to meet the man behind what's going to be going on. You probably, quite a few that probably already know. His name is Gabe Fenton. He was chef at Bourbon. He was there for, I believe, 14 years. He started it, he ran it, he opened it, and he kept the quality. And whether it was 10 years ago or yesterday, the quality has always been the same. But he created that atmosphere and that environment. We got a hold of Gabe. He was leaving. We didn't steal him. It was a mutual conversation, to say the least. And we worked out, because we felt that in opening up the new dining room, the new restaurant, we wanted to keep it separate from what goes on in the grill. We wanted it to be two separate entities. We wanted one to be more casual, more home cooking, more for everybody. And then a few nights a week have something really exceptionally special for the island. So without going into too much more, Gabe's going to tell us a little about himself, but we are thrilled to death. Gabe's role right now is he's in our kitchen in the grill. He's overseeing the menus, the quality control, the consistency, and upgrading and improving whatever needs done. The role between him and Thaddeus is not where someone is replacing somebody. It's in addition to, it's what's called building a team. And Thaddeus oversees a lot of the areas. We needed someone hands-on in the kitchen to oversee, as we talked about, the food itself. If you go in at night, you'll see him walking around the dining room. You'll see him talking to the people. But rather than me tell you about it, I want to introduce you to Gabe Fenton. He's here now with us almost a month, few weeks. Tell us first a little about what your background is.
Well, thanks, Bob.
And that'll show the people the quality of what we've brought in.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Well, I went to the Culinary Institute of America right after high school and graduated about in '98. So about 25, 30 years in the kitchen, professionally cooking. And
You don't look old enough for 35 years, you know.
I've been doing it since I started washing dishes when I was 14 years old.
And you haven't stopped.
And I haven't stopped. One of the things that I want to say is that I'm really happy to be here, and that I've seen the it feels like a breath of fresh air to see the quality that's around and see the focus on the food and beverage program, and working with Jeff in the past and meeting Thaddeus. I feel like we're forging a very strong team to move forward into the next year. Jumping right into Asian night and the Monday night social and the taco night, I've seen an ability to kind of make some touches to improve already in the first few weeks. But it's been my dream to start another restaurant, kind of like Bourbon, and to use all the skills that I've learned, put together a new team,
Yep.
and do a different style of cuisine. So what we've been talking about is sort of a Mediterranean feel with some steaks as well. And what I'd like to do is sort of bring a lighter touch to the food here, whether it be at the club or whether it be over at the pool, kind of cooking with more healthy ingredients. I come from a farm-to-table background, so
That's a big thing today, isn't it?
yeah. So
Very.
having the farmers market here, coincidentally, it was a really good thing for me. I'd like to see a produce vendor there so people can buy some things.
Yep.
So that will evolve that as well. But once you get to know me, you'll realize that I'm approachable. I listen. I definitely seek to make people happy as far as what they're offered and what they can do in the food and beverage. And I'm excited to see what we can do together. I really am.
Well, I had a couple of questions because when you come into a place like this, obviously it's been here for a while. You have a team already of Jeff as the CEO, Thaddeus, who's, I think, amazing. But you come in with your own ideas, obviously. You're going to come in the first few months. You're going to just watch what goes on, evaluate. How do you decide from what's there to what has to be changed without insulting people? Because that's got to be difficult.
So it's always a touchy subject, right? Because if I put something on the menu that I think will be good, it doesn't mean that everyone will think it'll be good. And we keep our antenna up, meaning we listen to what people say with feedback. We look on how things sell. We look at how things don't sell. And right now, I'll say I haven't seen a couple of the dishes on the menu go out yet. So those will be the things that I'll be looking to take off immediately. And that doesn't mean they can't come back. Rotating seasonally will be something that we'll be talking about. I mean, we have Brussels sprouts on the menu right now in the middle of the summer. It's not really a summer item, but everybody loves Brussels sprouts. I don't have a problem with keeping that on. There's certain things that will sort of not cook seasonally as well. But I think working with Thaddeus and Jeff closely on the menu ideas before we start actually cooking them is always a good way to go, because they've already been through 2 years of changes and knows what works well here. So to answer your question, I think that everybody will be happy with the new offerings, and the way to make sure that they're doing well is you run them as specials first. So you have three appetizer specials, 3 entree specials. Let's say run them for 2 weeks, see how the feedback goes, see how they sell. Maybe they don't work out at all and they don't make it on the menu. So we're not going to just throw the new menu out and see how it works. We're going to slowly integrate the new dishes in.
So, not to interrupt, one of the things that I always hear, and I'm sure you do too, in any restaurant, you have an item, it sells, it's doing great, and all of a sudden a new menu comes out and that item's gone. And I always wonder, isn't there a way to incorporate this popularity with something new? As an example, we have the Asian night that came about because the guy, our chef that does the sushi, was on vacation.
Right.
So now the Asian night has become over-the-top popular. Sushi's chef is coming back in a week or so, and it would be awful to get rid of something that people absolutely love. So how do you mix the two?
You got to be careful. I mean, there's only a certain amount that a kitchen can handle in order to keep the quality up. So there may be a reduction in some of the regular menu, the size of it, in order to keep the quality up on everything. And to answer your question more specifically, if there's something that people are asking for and it's doing well, we probably won't change it.
Yeah.
Like
So-
the chicken parm, for example.
Yes.
I saw that dish the first day. I saw it selling really well. It's something that I love to eat. I won't change that. I might increase the quality of the pasta, the noodle itself. Maybe we get a DiCecco instead of whatever we're ordering. But that's the only. It'll be subtle changes. Maybe the basil that we're buying, we'll have a fresher rotation. Whatever it is, it'll slowly increase the quality. But I'm not changing the chicken parm. The chicken parm's not coming off.
So in other words, we'll still have the Asian night. We may incorporate sushi, or you may do a different night or whatever.
Yeah. So sushi, we actually came to a conclusion for the first for July. We're gonna keep the Asian night the way it's been, and then we'll have Rudy come back and do the a la carte sushi just like he was before. So
Great.
So it's both. You get both, and like you said, why take away when we can add?
Oh yeah. The other question is, the downstairs, the grab and go, so to speak, is doing very well. People love being downstairs. I know there's some plans to do something outside, maybe barbecues or some kind of food operation, something on the patio at certain times of the day or week. What's happening with that?
So I haven't discussed specific details, but I do see an opportunity courtside here to have a barbecue outside once the weather cools down a little bit. We have all these beautiful seating, the little gazebos. I think it might be nice to have on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon, some grabbing, something that you can walk up and grab, maybe some sliced skirt steak and some steak frites or something, something interesting.
Yeah. That would be great. So to go to the big question, we're opening up a new room probably in 6 months.
Yes.
Whether it's December, January, February, whatever it is, we're around the corner.
Yes.
I assume right now, and I'm not asking too many details because I know we haven't really worked it out, there's got to be a lot of mindset going on as to what to do, how many nights a week to do it, the hours, the pricing, the menu. And you touched a little on idea of Mediterranean steaks, chops, maybe lobster, seafood, whatever. But tell me a little about the style of the restaurant, what your thought, how do you envision that? Is it like a bourbon motif type of feel?
Well, first thing I do is I look at the design, right? So the colors are very much like you would find in the Mediterranean. You got lots of whites, some pastel colors. So it speaks to me like a lighter cuisine, first off. It's always been my dream to be able to kind of recreate what we did at Bourbon in a different setting. So I think that staying true to those lines, olive oil and lemon juice, fresh seafood like you mentioned, cooking outside. I want to do some live fire cooking outside. We have a pizza oven in there, so we'll have some flatbreads and some pizza. We'll be baking our own bread and making our own doughs and doing a lot of things, old school.
So it's going to be the next step up. It's going to be a Mediterranean bourbon, so to speak.
100%.
Something with a nice design and people get a little bit nicely dressed. Design will be nice, the tablecloths, whatever.
And also what I've seen is a beautiful new tiki bar.
It's gorgeous.
Which will have plenty of seating, 30, 40, 50 seats for lunch. So I think keeping the accessibility for the casual diner and having some, not so fancy food for lunch will be necessity. We don't want to make it stuffy, right? We want to make it approachable.
So as a chef, and I know you've been at Bourbon a long time, this is almost like a rebirth of your cognitive juices. It's got to be exciting that all of a sudden at this stage in your life you get to recreate a whole new environment again.
Yes, that's 100% accurate. I mean, I was speaking with some people that I've taught throughout the years. I've had sous chefs and cooks come through my kitchen who are now executive chefs in Miami and abroad as well. And the ability to keep doing that and keep giving back to the industry and growing our current staff and bringing in new people as well to complement. I think that's what's exciting to me.
And you know what's wonderful about the island is we have different food outlets.
Yeah.
So there's always opportunities for change, to upgrade it, modify it, do new things. So it's got to be exciting. I mean, I know it's like I was a builder for so many years, but every time I opened a new community, it was new houses, new decorating, new this, new that. It's almost the same for you as a chef. You're creative. This is your juices.
Culinary playground.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. There's the casual, there's the fancy, there's the buffets. We have everything here.
So it's got to be a dream come true.
It is. Just now getting my head wrapped around all of it is the challenge nowadays.
You know, it's funny because Jeff and I talked about you, this goes back a while. And it's interesting because it's almost a very similar scenario to how I hired Jeff.
Yes.
And I went to Jeff a number of years ago about looking for someone to replace our general manager. Not going to him for him. I just knew Jeff.
Right.
And 4 months later, we're making a deal.
Right.
You know, but we went and started the conversation because I'm friends with the Sofa family, so I would never go there and take somebody that's important to them.
No.
But you could see through the conversations, well, it's the same thing with you. Obviously, you went through some stuff at Turnberry, and life goes a different route.
It's more, not so much about Turnberry, it's just about a natural evolution in my career.
Sure.
Wanting to grow, wanting to do something fresh, wanting to have something that was more my own.
Well, as you can see, we have truly an amazing team. And food and beverage to me is, as I started out by saying, is the key to the island because everybody eats. And that's where you get all the complaints or all the compliments. So we welcome you. It's God's gift that you're here with us now. You fit in perfectly. You're exactly what we needed at this time. I'm thrilled that Jeff was able to convince you to come. I don't know what he bribed you with, but he got you.
Well, I want to say thank you for the warm welcome, and I feel it all around, from the staff, from the people who take out the trash, to the people who clean the laundry facility, to the security guards. Everyone has been very, very warm. It's been a warm welcome.
We have an amazing staff. We have people here. We're getting ready to celebrate our 40th anniversary. We have people that have been here since then. That's what's amazing about this island. Carrie in the spa has been over 30 years. Joy downstairs, a membership, has been here over 30 years. You know, it's amazing. But the only problem I see that you'll have is you have to deal with Thaddeus. Because there's the problem we seem to have. Because trying to get Thaddeus to comprehend the incomprehensible is incomprehensible. And that's been the big issue we've had. And I'm saying it because he's here, and he's smiling, and he's laughing, but
how are you?
Nobody better knows his issues than him.
Well, I want to say I've had about 5 jobs since I graduated culinary school, and whether or not you like it, you're stuck with me now.
We don't want you to go anyplace. We don't want you going anyplace. And I think you and Thaddeus, all kidding aside, you're an amazing team together. And I thank you so much.
Thanks, Bob.
Welcome.
Thanks, man.